Hi, this is Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking, bringing you a wonderful cookie recipe today. I call it my angel cookies. And after we finish, and after you take one bite, you'll see why I call them my angel cookies. They're heavenly. They're probably the best cookie you'll ever have. Okay, let's get started. You could use just a hand mixer, but I've decided to use my KitchenAid. So what I'm going to add first is I've got 1 cup of melted butter. 1 cup of melted butter. I've also got 1 cup of vegetable oil. To that, I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. And I'm going to add 1 cup of brown sugar. Then we'll put my paddle attachment on here. And I'm just going to stir this first. So what I'm going to do after I get to stirring it, I'm going to turn it up because I want this to beat until it's really well incorporated and really fluffy. So I'm going to turn it up a little bit now. These cookies, it has a lot of ingredients in it, and you probably have most of them at home. I promise you, once you try these, that you will want to make them again. Okay, I'm going to stop this for a second, and I'm going to put 1 large egg in there. And this is really a big egg. Put 1 large egg in there. And then we'll blend that. I know it might seem like a long time, but I like to, on this particular ingredient, I like to make sure that it's really well blended. Okay. All right, I've got my sugars and my oils all mixed up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then I'm going to also add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'm going to stir that up some. Okay. All right, now they're pretty much all incorporated, I'm going to add to that now, I've got 3½ cups of all-purpose flour. Let that stir for a few minutes. Okay. Now is when I will take my paddle attachment off, take my bowl loose, and I'll actually start using this as my mixing bowl. But what I want to do is I want to go around and make sure that I've got everything from the bottom and everything is all mixed up in here. Okay. Now we're going to add is 1 cup of oatmeal. We're going to mix those really well in here. I'm telling you, once you try this, you'll see why I call it my angel cookie. Okay, then after I get those mixed pretty well, my next thing I'm going to add is I've got a cup of cornflakes. Now I put these in a Ziploc bag and I smashed them. So I'm going to put a cup of cornflakes in there. And I'm going to mix that with it. Get that all incorporated. Okay. Next thing I'm going to add is I've got 1/2 a cup of shredded coconut. I mean, with all these things in there, how could this not be absolutely delicious? And you've got the cornflakes, you've got the coconut, the vanilla, the butter. It's just everything. And last but not least, I've got 1/2 a cup of chopped pecans I'm going to put in there. Okay, I've got this pretty well incorporated and mixed up. And the next thing I'm going to do is I've got just a regular cookie sheet here and a piece of parchment paper on it. These cookies do better if you put them in the refrigerator for about 1/2 hour to chill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up my cookies and put them on this piece of paper. Now, it makes no difference how close you put these because we're not baking these right now. We're just putting these here to chill. Because when we get ready to put them in the oven, they'll be harder so I can pick them up and move them. Okay, let me get all these on this paper. Okay, I've got them all on my paper, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them in the refrigerator and just let them chill up for like 1/2 hour, 45 minutes, and then we'll be back and we'll cook them. Okay, our angel cookies were in the refrigerator cooling for about 1 hour. They're cooled down. They've set up. What I'm going to do is before I put them in, I've got my oven set at 350, and I've got them about 2 inches apart. Almost slightly, and they're hard to do because they're cold. Press them down the top just a little bit so they're sort of flat on the top. I know it doesn't look like I'm doing much to it, but I really am flattening the tops of them. And I've got this on parchment paper. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually put these in the oven for about anywhere from 9 to 11 minutes. I'll let you know exactly how long it took to bake them. So let's stick these in the oven and I'll be right back with you. Okay, our cookies were actually in the oven at 14 minutes. So they turned out absolutely beautiful. If you look at these, you can see the big hunks of pecan in there, and there's the coconut. I like to make big cookies. When I make big cookies, they look like bakery store cookies. I know a lot of people make smaller cookies, but I like to make big cookies. I can't wait to taste these. Cool down. They're still a little warm. I can't wait to bite into these. Well, they're still a little warm, but let's try one. They sort of have a crunchy taste. I can taste the pecan, the coconut. It's really a rich cookie. I can imagine later on having this with some coffee later on tonight. These could be really good. This is a wonderful recipe. I call it my angel cookies because I have never had a cookie quite like it because of the cornflakes and the coconut and pecans and all their different stuff in it, and they just taste heavenly to me. So I hope you'll give them a try and see. Thank you so much for following me on Facebook and subscribing to me on YouTube. I hope you'll have a wonderful weekend ahead. Know that I'm thinking about you, thinking about your families. I know that we're all going through rough times right now, and let's just pray that things will change very soon. Until next time, I'm Jim in Mexico saying you take care of yourself and your families, and thank you so much for letting me come into your home again today. Until next time, God bless.